Hello my friends, Pest and Lawn Ginja, another episode of What's Wrong with My Lawn. This one's kind of funky. A lot of issues with Thatch and a couple different problems, but let's take a look and then we'll talk about the fix. Okay guys, here's the top view just like usual. You're starting to see this Thatch. Now this Thatch is fairly aggressive and I kind of categorize it as a gummy Thatch. To be clear, I don't believe a power rake is going to fix this type of problem, and so there's no reason in wasting your money. But let's go through the 1, 2, 3s and the ABCs of my lawn diagnosing. So when we sit back, the first thing I'm looking at is color. It looks like we have an even distribution of brown and gray matter, which tells me that we are dealing with some sort of fungal matter or dead matter, and it's uniform across the board. So I'm not as concerned about the sprinkler coverage as much as I am about the overall pattern. Then next, we're gonna do a quick pull test to see if anything pulls out. And we can see everything is in there, it's solid, nothing's coming out in my hand. The next thing I wanna look at is water penetration. So let's do a soil probe. So the first probe that I'm getting, this plug is really small. Hard compact clay, shallow root development. So the roots are only penetrating about 2 inches is all I'm getting. Let's take another couple just to make sure everything's valid. I got another plug that's literally 2 inches. So at this point, we can confirm the water is not penetrating the way that it needs to be. So I'm going to consult the customer on this one. And what we're finding out is that they've been daily watering for 15 minutes, which the type of sprinklers she has, that is not enough, obviously, because it's not putting out enough water. And you can see every single plug that I'm pulling, it's really small. All right, so we're gonna do a Thatch test at this point and see what we can pull up. And it's really gummy. I mean, I'm having a really rough time getting to the surface, which is kind of frustrating, but this is exactly why it's not breathing. And all of a sudden the grass is lifting up and the grass is going to be happy. But this Thatch is so gummy, and I'll get a close-up on here, but the roots, we have extreme shallow roots that are occurring, and it's actually in the Thatch. So to fix this shallow root development, we're gonna have to just scrape the top, and that's why I said power rake is not gonna work. You have to scrape it with a Thatch rake, and then the fix for this is we're gonna need to aerate it a couple of times over and then overseed it to fix this lawn. So the problem that we have with this kind of matter here is it gets really hot in the sun, but it also chokes out all the nutrients and the oxygen transfer that is happening upward and downward. So it causes a lot of problems. The fertilizer can't get to where it needs to be, the micronutrients don't get there, and when the sun hits it, this stuff starts to bake and it causes the rest of the lawn to stress. Now, if your lawn isn't quite this bad, but you have that gummy Thatch, there's a couple of things that you can do instead of just overseeding per se. But the one thing that I want to point out is you can't just shove a bunch of salt, urea, or a bunch of fertilizer on this lawn to light it up to get it to fix. Okay guys, so these are the two products I'm going to use after I scrape the Thatch off so we can get the microbes stirring. I don't want to hit it with fertilizer because the salts are just going to be counterproductive. They're going to get stuck on the root bases and they're not going to do what they need to do. So we're going to use the Essentials Plus to kind of free up the sediment on the root bases, and then I'm going to mix it with the Max Pack. Now the Max Pack, I love this stuff. It actually has a ton of micronutrients, and those micronutrients are going to help rebuild and fortify the mycorrhiza and the microbes that are going to help the grass start to grow again. Now, I might hit this with fertilizer maybe 3 weeks later, but right now I'm just going to focus on the aluminos and the microbes and the mycorrhiza activity and getting rid of the sediment off of the top and making sure that we get good, healthy watering back into the soil. So watering is going to play a really big role in the fix of this lawn. Now, after we apply the products, the customer really needs to water that in pretty heavily. So I'm recommending 45 minutes daily for the next 5 days, and then we're gonna check and use the soil probe again to see if we can't get that water down 6 to 8 inches deep into the soil. We wanna drive those roots down, so I don't like to do daily watering. But in this instant, it's 90 degrees outside, it's really hot, the lawn is frustrated. We really don't have a choice. If you guys know of people who have a lawn that looks just like this, please share my video, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my page. Guys, till the next time, what's wrong with my lawn? Have a good day.